Hello and welcome. I am your host, Carlo Cordilli, Head of Product at Alpharank. Welcome to our conversation around best practices for growth through the online branch. Today, I'm thrilled to have Angel Everard, the VP of Growth Marketing at Elevations Credit Union, joining us. Welcome, Angel.
Thank you for having me. Thrilled to be here.
Yeah, wonderful to see you again. So for those of you who are new to the series, Alpharank is a guidance system for the online branch. Alpharank keeps your activities pointed towards the most dollar output from the online branch, making it a heat-seeking missile, relentlessly focused on balance sheet production. Any marketing activity you run, whether it's a targeted email, a postcard with a QR code, or a Google ad, will tell you exactly how many dollars you booked from that action, and most importantly, how to get more dollars per action. Our system is trained on over 3 billion first-party data points from over 100 participating banks and credit unions. And from this model, we give you recommendations to curb abandonment, improve lead quality, and maximize dollar production. Visit us at alpharank.ai to learn more. So welcome everyone in the audience today. We want your participation and your questions. At first, you will be in listen-only mode and submit your questions using the Zoom Q&A panel. When we get to the Q&A segment, we will unmute your line so you can ask the question live. We want to have that real interaction. We'll read it out for you if you're shy. And then all participants will get a follow-up email from us containing links to the recording and other information from the discussion. So many in the industry today grapple with the data black hole when it comes to tracking the customer journey in the online space. Marketing campaigns in particular are notoriously difficult to track and to optimize. And most credit unions run a variety of systems for account opening, loan origination, home lending, what have you. And we're seeing a significant shift from brand marketing to growth marketing in the industry. And that's why I invited Angel today, because she's a leading light in the field of growth marketing for credit unions. She will share her expertise on the impact of data-driven decision-making and how it can elevate your marketing campaign. So Angel, thank you again for joining us. To introduce you to the audience, you're the VP of Growth Marketing at Elevations. Let's start with some fun facts you'd like to share.
Well, I've been in credit unions for almost 17 years. So started back in early 2008, and it's been quite the experience just how marketing and credit unions have changed over the years.
Wow, credit union OG. And tell us about that sort of career path that you've had from your first role to where you are now.
Absolutely. I was hired as the first person in my role at my first credit union, and driven by love and passion for marketing, I wanted to challenge myself and see how much I could build within that scope. I established a marketing department, then spent a few years exploring the retail sector. I've also been in lending and overseeing various operations, making me quite multifaceted. While I can handle some aspects of technology, it is not my primary expertise and not a place you want me to be.
Right. So while you're not crushing it at growth marketing, tell us a little bit about your favorite hobbies and what you do for recreation.
Yeah, Colorado is absolutely beautiful. Outside of marketing, I love hiking, probably my most favorite thing to do. There's this thing in Colorado called a 14er. If you've never heard of it, it refers to mountains that are 14,000 feet above sea level. There's various hikes in Colorado that reach this elevation. I did it once, and that was enough for me. I'm going to stick to lower ground moving forward.
Wow, 14,000 feet. That's some serious height. I'm a mad snowboarder, and the highest I'll go is 10,000, and I'm huffing and puffing. So respect for going to 14,000. So, that's a great segue. Elevation, high altitude. So that's the name of the credit union. Elevation's an award-winning Colorado financial institution, $3+ billion in assets and more than 170,000 members. So just to sort of set the frame for us, Angel, what are your goals for 2024?
Well, as my title suggests, my focus is all about growth. I have a huge emphasis on member acquisition, and right now, like many other credit unions, we're also focused on increasing deposits. It can be a bit challenging at times. When I joined Elevations, I was able to compare and contrast what it was like making decisions before and after full visibility. Marketing plays a key role in any organization, but being able to make data-driven decisions allows us to optimize our spending much better. I always consider every dollar spent as our members' money, so I strive to make the most out of it. Having data has helped us understand which campaigns work and which segments of our audience respond best to certain offers, really improving our ROI at the end of it. When I first joined, the digital team mentioned something called Alpharank. Initially, I was not quite sure of what it was or what its value was. But after meeting with you, Carlos, shortly after my onboarding, I was inspired by what you guys offered and began figuring out how I could leverage it more in our marketing. I wanted to understand our performance, ROI, and profitability just a little bit better than we were able to at the time, and areas that we didn't have strong enough metrics. Recently, we extended our use of Alpharank. Initially, we only applied it to the consumer side, but as our credit union is very proficient on the mortgage side, we also wanted to integrate it with that side as well, and anxiously awaiting the results. Wish we could talk about them today, but we're not quite there yet.
Well, we'll be there very shortly. In fact, I think that's a representative of the whole credit union and independent sort of bank sector. We've gotten adjusted to these higher interest rate. The end of zero interest rate policies, has been worked its way through the system. We turn the corner liquidity, and everybody's looking at driving these high value products in home lending, whether it's HELOC, fixed home equity loans, and mortgages. So that brings us, to bring it full circle for the audience. If you could tell us a little bit about, what is your stack that you're using at Elevations, from the people to the agencies to the systems, so the folks on the podcast can get a sense of what you're dealing with in terms of different people and systems, including your online banking.
Absolutely. Currently, right now, we are utilizing Meridian Link for our member acquisition and lending platforms on the consumer side. But we also use Blend on our mortgage side, which has been very beneficial from an online banking perspective. We use Alchemy, which we've had great success with as well. And in our marketing department, we primarily are using Adobe Marketo for emails and landing pages. In addition to that, we use an outside agency that focuses a lot of our creative assets, also a lot of digital display and Google searches, all of which is fed into different dashboards, one of which we see on the back half of Alpharank.
Yeah, a lot of systems in there. So now that we understand all the moving parts that you have to deal with, tell us a little bit about what's been like making decisions using this data.
Absolutely. When I first came to Elevations, one of our struggles was performing pre and post analysis on all of our campaigns. With improved data analytics, we're able to forecast goals more accurately and more informed decisions for campaign management. Setting goals is important, but equally crucial to broadcast and socialize the results of our campaigns. We're now able to do this much more effectively by monitoring campaign performance. Recently, I worked with you on a profitability model as well, which I'm very excited about. Previously, I had to make educated guesses, but now, even though it's still a little bit of an estimate, it's a more solid number. So I feel better about putting it out there, saying, here's what we're producing.
And
We can now.
when you say putting it out there, you really mean meeting with other members of the management team, especially finance, and saying, hey, this is what growth marketing did. We did so many dollars in mortgages through the online branch, for so many dollars in vehicle loans, and this is what it's worth to the credit union in terms of income.
Yeah, and it's important that we socialize that so that people see what marketing is doing and how we're contributing to the overall strategic goals of the organization. We can now present this estimate on average of our financial performance reports and explain the methodology behind our calculations. It's really been great.
Yeah, I mean, for context on folks on the podcast who might be new to growth marketing in the space, the way you want to think about it is the online branch is essentially an e-commerce store. And you're trying to get people to take financial products from your financial institution, whether it's new members or new customers coming in, or cross-sell of additional products into existing members or existing customers. And financial products are weird because you don't pay up front as a user of these products. You're paying over the lifetime of the product. So it's important to know what these things are worth. And we find, and what Angel is referring to, there's a hierarchy of value. At the top of that hierarchy, we have mortgages, biggest dollars amount, longest duration, secured lending products. And then below that, there's home equity, and depending on the size and the configuration, you could have a credit card or vehicle loan. And then at the bottom of that lending hierarchy, we have personal loans, which tend to be lower dollar value and lower duration. So when you look at the output of all your marketing, you have to say not only that I got 20 loans from this set of Google searches that I paid for, but also have to be able to talk to what it is that you got and what's it worth to the credit union, to the balance sheet, to the income statement. So personally, I like mortgages because they're asset backed, but that's just a personal preference. So tell us about those conversations with finance, Angel.
Yeah, and it's easy to gather insights when a member goes inside a branch and you know what they're doing or that member journey, or when they call your contact center. Those are logs and reports associated with that. But marketing, it's a little bit harder to attribute those efforts directly to the marketing department, which is why data analytics is so important. So those data points are being able to follow that member journey in the digital space and are so important for marketers to be able to do that.
Excellent, excellent. And from our conversations, I recall that you've done some interesting things with being able to drive this cross-sell through your online banking. I believe you called it Quick Apply. And in conjunction with that, you're also incredibly successful at turning the corner on liquidity. So you could go from like a deposit raising mode into a more of a consumer lending mode. So tell us about that thing you did around liquidity. I think it'd be super interesting because a lot of folks in this call I know are still struggling with propping up the balance sheet and dealing with liquidity in a high interest rate environment. So it'd be great if you could share a few tidbits about that.
It's definitely a delicate balance, that balance sheet. We have a great relationship with our digital team who oversees our online banking and digital channel there. But the campaign that just recently kicked off, we don't quite have a lot of data on it yet, but we are starting to see, especially in our online banking portal, the transition of those conversions coming over. We did a very segmented marketing campaign with a certain member demographic, really looking at, who is most likely to convert within the space that we're working in. In addition, we also worked on some external funding options with Quick Apply availability within Alchemy to allow people to fund that certificate just a little bit faster and be able to get them converted in the most seamless way. This is kind of our trial to see how members will react to it and if they will adapt. But so far, the numbers are looking really good for us. We're seeing members engage with it. Sometimes the challenge is that they see the ad a couple times before they're ready to act on it, which we're monitoring closely and working on some retargeting. If they see it and shut it down or slow, show a little bit of interest, but not quite ready to pull the trigger, we're retargeting as we can as well.
I think that's a very sort of important aspect of financial products because choosing a financial product very much depends on time and space because you only need one at a particular point in time. So you wake up, you realize you have excess liquidity, rates are high, and now you're going to move money into a CD. So in your case, show them that high rate and have somebody bring over $50,000 that may be sitting at Chase earning nothing. And now they can earn a pretty decent APY in your 5-month CD. Or maybe you're buying a car and you just walked a lot last weekend and decide you're going to go through with it. You want a loan, and you want a loan from a friendly lender, not some some dealership kind of deal. Or maybe you need a house and mortgage right away. But that's the nature. You need one, and you need one now. And the response time is important. So you want to put something in front of the member or customer or prospect in a timely way. And response time is crucial. So you want to make sure your back-end resources are available to process the application. So when you're planning at 2025 and you think about the efforts that you're going to do next year, what's standing out for you?
It's crazy to think that we're only 6 months away from 2025 and it's already planning season. It's approaching quickly. For us, it's going to be about continuing to build on that tech stack and ensuring seamless integrations from one platform to the next for a cohesive journey from beginning to end. That's been my focus this year, is figuring out how we can track interactions from the moment that they first engage with us all the way through the conversion, then seamlessly transferring that information to our next platform to enhance onboarding, targeted marketing, or further relationship building with our members, potential members who maybe aren't quite ready to fully commit to us.
Yeah, I think that sounds exactly on point. So with that, Josh, now that we've had Angel sort of give us an overview, let's throw open the Q&A for questions and see what we got.
Sure thing. I just wanted to let everybody know that I have a little bit of laryngitis, so my voice may be a little weird, and if you need me to repeat anything, please let me know. All right, so we'll just give it 1 second for more questions to come in. Okay, great. So the first question is from Tracy. She asks, Angel, you mentioned the shift from brand marketing to growth marketing. Could you share an example of how you use the data?
Yeah. How we use the data from growth
Data,
marketing.
I think, yeah, to enhance growth, I believe it is.
Okay. Well, as deposits are one of our focuses right now, our marketing data analyst was able to use geographic information of our membership and overlaying it with some census data our business intelligence team had provided to us to help us better understand where deposit growth opportunities are. This information and this data will allow us to make the most of our marketing dollars and concentrate our efforts.
Nice. All right, let me see. The second question is from Jerome at Western Community. He asks, you mentioned that you have Alpharank running across deposits, consumer lending, and home lending. What are any of the big insights you've observed, and did you have any challenges?
No challenges at all. Alpharank has been probably one of the easiest vendors I've worked with. Remember, 17 years in the industry, so it's been a minute. We've seen some great insights, which has allowed us to better adapt. One of the highlights is that HELOCs have the highest funnel of efficiency of all of our application types. Currently, for May, it was about 52%. In addition, they have the highest book value. Now, remember, mortgages aren't hooked up yet, so we're only able to look at the consumer side, which is where our HELOCs sit in. In addition, we've been able to better understand the best channels performing. Currently, direct is our number one, just like many other financial institutions. Google Ads is ranking number 2 for us, and our digital banking is at number 3 in terms of dollars booked, which affirms a lot of our marketing efforts with working with an outside agency on our Google Ad placements. But also marketing has been using the digital banking as more of a call to action with current members to give them a seamless experience with quick apply.
Cool.
Wow, amazing.
Okay. There is another question. Didn't give a name. Understanding your focus on member acquisition and deposits growth, what strategies or initiatives have been particularly successful due to the high rate environment?
Oh, high rate environment. When there are changes in a high rate, just a rate environment in general, you often see loan rates increase much faster than deposits. This is the hardest time for a marketer as people limit borrowing and others are waiting for rates to go up before investing. At Elevations, we have a really high focus on building strong relationships with our members and the community, which helps ensure that we're a place that people think of first when they have a financial need or need advice of some kind. So even in a shifting rate environment, I think building those relationships and having that strong brand presence means everything. That's how we're moving the needle where I'm at.
That's great. Okay. We have another question from Courtney. She asks, can you clarify if you are retargeting from your digital blank platform or website?
We are retargeting within the digital banking application in Alchemy. And then also we have targeted ads on Google and digital display. So not directly from our website at the moment.
Okay. And
Yeah, I
then
think I'd
Mhm.
like to add something to that, Josh.
Sure.
The data that we see across the hundreds of financial institutions that we support consistently points to the fact that digital banking is the most powerful medium that you have available as a financial institution. You obviously have these people's attention. They could be sent in to the cross-sell, signed in, and all the information can be pre-filled. And that stuff monetizes, frankly, really, really well. So it is, if you're looking for a boost in your performance, especially in cross-sell, that is the thing to do. The important thing, and I think it goes very much to what Angel said, is to make sure that you have done the segmentation and the pre-qualification inside of that channel. So you got a member or a customer, they're in your digital banking, they have their attention. You don't have to pay to get that attention. So it's up to you to be the really best steward of that attention and to show them precisely a product that A, they're interested in, and B, that they qualify. So in other words, don't go be showing a black card to somebody with a 495 credit score, because that's going to be a horrible experience and also waste your money. Show them a credit builder product that is right for them. And I think that's what you mean, Angel, when you talk about segmentation and targeting and doing all that sort of heavy lifting in the background.
Yeah, and Alchemy, just as a standalone platform, has some really good data sources to segment and pull lists directly into it. And our digital team has done a phenomenal job of working side by side with marketing and identifying who it is, what the messaging should be, even segmentation and how we're delivering the ads, the copy, maybe the creative, and we can set it up differently if they're in an older demographic or a younger demographic. We've had really good success with it.
Yeah, I think to really sort of explain where the bar is for cross-sell to existing members or customers, that's happening through the online channel. So they're already single signed in, you know who they are. All the information is pre-filled. So it's really just a matter of connecting the dots and making it happen. You want to have an approval rate that is north of 75%. Anything below that is, you're leaving money on the table, and you're also creating a bad customer/member experience. So look for that number, for that threshold, and make sure you're above that. So with that, I think we have another question specifically around the quality of data for this cross-sell, Josh.
Yeah. From anonymous attendee. By the way, if any of you want to speak directly, please let me know in your question as well. Anonymous asks, how did you comb through your internal member data to make sure it was accurate? I've done lookalike campaigns like you described with census data, but our CRM was way off.
Data, I don't know that you ever get to 100% integrity when you're trying to do like people data or matching. I will say that Elevations is very fortunate. We have a very strong business intelligence team that does a lot of data warehousing for us and is able to connect several of our systems into one area. So we're able to use some of their expertise along with other marketing channels to overlay that data, but I don't know that you're ever going to get to 100%. The goal is to get it as closely as possible that you feel comfortable if you run with it, that it's going to land appropriately for your audience. but I can't even get to 100%. And I have Alpharank right now. So
Right, right. It's a continuous process.
it
Continuous
is.
process.
And you learn and you adapt with everything that you do. So as you start to match up data, or you're, going through that validation process and identifying places where it's not there, you work to just perfect it as you continue going on. The goal is continuous improvement.
Wonderful. Well, Angel, you've been very, very generous for your time. I want you to be able to return to growth marketing. So I will ask you to, provide some closing comments. I know you're loving your role at Elevations. You're loving Colorado, so you cannot be recruited or moved. So in that spirit, what are your top tips for the audience?
I would say at the end of the day, we are all investing our members' dollars on advertising. If not a strong return, we're being wasteful of our members' money.
Amazing. That is the truth. So with that, Jim, thank you so much. And thank you to all the participants. It's been wonderful to have you. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.